Who loves Halloween? Spook up your Halloween decor with this adorable bat wreath that can be hung 2 different ways. Let's check it out. Okay, so I wanted to show you how I cut the mesh. It is a 10-inch poly burlap. I have it in both the black and the purple. And what I like to do, I like to cut with a wood burning tool. I have this wood burning tool with a chisel tip. Yes, it is very used. Then I have a cutting mat and a glass cutting board. I just measure out 10 inches and it cuts the mesh. Stay within the lines of the poly burlap. Okay, that helps to reduce the fraying. And that's all we got to do. The only reason, even though this, the petals that I'm going to be using, even though that does not show the edges, I like to use this wood burning tool just because, a couple reasons. When I'm working with it, I don't like to have it fray on me. I just find that very annoying. The other reason is there is a very, very small section that will show the edge, and I don't want that to show any fraying or anything. It may not even show, but if it does, I don't want any frays to come out of it. Okay? So I'm just going to keep cutting and I'll see you back here in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the petal. We're going to use the same style of petal that I do on my dragon wreath. So what I'm going to do, I have this 10 by 10 piece of poly burlap. Okay, I'm showing you with the purple right now. And it really doesn't matter which way you fold it, okay? You just want to take one corner to the other. I have a finished edge on the bottom here, okay? You can see that right there. Now flatten that out the best you can, okay? Now switch it from this corner to this corner. This is supposed to be the Star Trek petal, okay? And see how I have that finished edge on the very bottom of all 4 of these layers. I'm going to bring that over. So now I have that finished edge right there. Okay? And what I'm going to do, I just had to spin that around a little bit, but I'm going to use my 4-inch zip tie and tie that up. Okay, so there is our finished petal for now. Okay, I'm going to fix it just a little bit, but I'm going to show you this again with the black. Okay, and this is something else, another OCD thing. See how this finished edge does not look very good. I don't want that one showing. And in reality, it's probably not going to show on the wreath, but I just like to do it, okay? Just in case it does show just an inch or a half an inch, whatever. So I'm going to make sure my good edge is to my left. Bring that up, fold it down, and then fold it over. So I have that good finished edge right there. Kind of make sure I have everything adjusted the way I want. I got a nice crisp point here. And then zip tie that shut. Okay. So we have that. Now, I want you to notice with both of these, see how that kind of gaps right there? Okay, that's with both of them. I want to fix that. So, I have some clothespins here and my hot glue gun. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to put just about a 3-inch bead, very thin bead. You don't want to oversaturate it by any means, okay? Just a nice thin bead, okay? And then use the clothespin to shut that, okay? Make sure it looks good to where, you know, where you're happy before you put that clothespin on, okay? And then even this gap's just a little bit. So all I'm going to do, put about 1 inch. And then shut that. And you want to make sure when you are putting the glue on that you are not going too close to where you're going to be putting the clothespin. Otherwise, there will be that indentation of where you glued it, and it doesn't look good. Okay, so I'm going to show you again with the purple. Okay, I'm going to glue it here. I mean, there's good 2 inches at least, maybe 3 that I did not put the glue. And I'm about maybe 1/4 inch, oh, I'm sorry, at least a 1/2 inch in on that mesh, okay? And then put that clothespin on. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm not going to go all the way to that folded edge where I'm going to put the clothespin. Put about 1 inch worth, maybe 1.5 inches, and put a clothespin. And that's it. Okay? And I'll show you one that's done. Okay? See? It closed that gap in both areas. So it just has a little bit of a cleaner look. So for this wreath, I'm going to be using a 14-inch from the Dollar Tree. If we wanted to go bigger, you could use the 18-inch. This 18-inch has 8 sections going around, where this only has 6. So you would definitely be using more product, whatever. I'm only going to use the 14. I think the 14 will work out just fine. And what I'm going to do, okay, see where these crossbars are? Right here. I'm going to cut this in half. Okay. And I'm just going to use my wire cutters right above where that crossbar is. Okay, so I want you to see the 2 different halves. The one with the crossbar still attached, that's the one I'm going to use. Okay, because you can see, since this doesn't have a crossbar anymore, this kind of wants to just go wherever it wants to go. So I don't want to use this. If I really wanted to, I could just attach the 2, kind of make it doubly strong. What the heck? It's not going to hurt anything, right? So I'll just go ahead and do that. Go ahead and attach both of them together using 4-inch zip ties. Okay. You can see, like right here, I could just, right where the crossbars are, do a little crisscross action there. Okay, so now we got that just doubled down. It's nice and sturdy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab, we have this plastic canvas. Now, unfortunately, if we went from this side to this side, it's just a ½ inch too short. So I'll just try to keep from, I don't want to waste. I don't like wasting. So I'll try to go from this edge to this edge and up to this edge. Okay, so we'll just kind of, make it so we have all of this left that we can use for something else. Okay, and basically there's two things you can do. You can tie it down now and then cut it, or you can trace it out using a Sharpie and then cut it out and then tie it on. I think it's just easier to just tie it on first and then cut it. So I'm going to use a few more 4-inch zip ties. Okay, so you can see I have that tied on just to the outside. Now I'm going to tie it down on the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to cut all these zip ties off, and then I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so I have this plastic canvas on the back of the wire form, right? Because the back of the wire form is now going to be our front. I know it's crazy. I always do crazy stuff, but this is the way it's going to be, okay? So from this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make lines of where I want to put my zip ties to put my petals on. Okay, I'm back. So I decided that I'm going to have the bat in the middle here, the bat face, and then I'm going to have the wings go up. Okay, so that's why I turned it around like this, and I kind of made little markers of kind of where I want to put my petals. Okay, I'm gonna have one out on the edge, okay, on either side here. And then I'm gonna have from the very edge to here about 1.5 inches. And so I'm gonna go ahead and make a line, and I'm gonna go just about another 1.5 inches, which ends up being more like 1.75 inches on the outside, okay? Because we are kind of gonna start going around. Okay. It's not gonna be perfect, but it'll work. I'm gonna put 5 rows. Okay. Let's fingers crossed this works. Okay, so we're gonna start putting on the petals here, and I will show you here in just a sec. I have my form here with the lines on it. Again, fingers crossed this works the way I think it will. So when we are putting the zip ties on, we're gonna have to work around these, this wire form, okay? So these wires are going to get in the way here and there. It's going to be fine. It's just going to make it a little bit more complicated, but we can do it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and make my put my very first petal in. Okay. And what I want this pointed edge going down. Okay. And I'm going to do, when I do one side, I'm just going to go ahead and do the other, just to try to make sure I have everything even. From here, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 cross. I'm going to go just a couple holes over and around the outside ring. I'll put 1 black on, do 1 purple, and as I'm putting my zip ties in, I'm going in 1 hole, skip a hole, and come out the next one. And then do 1 right around the outside, or the inside, I guess. Now I'll do that over here. Okay, so on to the next row. We're going to keep doing this all the way down. Okay, so I have this cat head. Yes, it is a cat head, not a bat head. I could not find a bat head. They had some with wings already on them, things like that. But I thought this at least would look similar to a bat. Fingers crossed this will look okay, and yeah, it won't look like a bat with a cat head. But anyhow, I got this off of Etsy. The company name is called Outline Arts. And this one, I think this was 6 inches. Yeah, this was a 6-inch cat head. Okay. I already painted it black, but the black that I had was a matte finish. I'd rather it be a little glossier. So I went out and bought some, it's a high gloss. It's a high gloss acrylic paint. So I went ahead and got some of that. I figure I'll go ahead and give it a second coat anyway. And I have this purple. It is glass paint, but it's glossy. It'll work. Right? Right. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a second coat of the black on here, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do from that point. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of white, and I'm going to attempt to make a couple circles for the eyes. Again, I'm not a painter. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. But this is not one of my specialties by any means. Okay, and to get this to dry quicker, I'm just going to use a hair dryer on this real quick. That's better, but we need to do a third coat. So I'm going to dry this again. Okay, so while that is still drying, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of purple. I'm going to put that in the ears. So now I think I want to give him a little crooked smile. So I'm going to do that right down here. Now I'm going to fix a little bit of this white that I kind of messed up, kind of make my lines a little bit better. Okay. Listen, I'm not expecting perfection, so, okay. So I'm going to put little pupils in there. Okay, so we're going to have to put a little bit of white in those pupils, even if it's just a dot. And that's all you need to do. And then I'm going to put some fangs while I got that white on there. Okay, so I've got this far. I want to show you what I did. Okay, on this side, what I did, I took this 18-inch stem wire. Unfortunately, I'm never able to find anywhere where it says what the gauge is, but you got to make sure you get the thinner one. They have a thin and then they have a thicker one. The thicker one is just a little bit more difficult to work with. This is nice and thin. It goes wherever you want it to go. Okay. But what I did, I used my hot glue gun and put that right there in the middle. And then I put some E6000 on either side. The E6000 takes longer to cure. However, I think it works. It's a little bit stronger than just a hot glue. Okay, and yeah, I still got paint on my fingers. But, okay, so I have that there, and that's what I'm going to use to attach it to the wreath. Okay, so let me grab the wreath real quick. Now, it is totally up to you. If you want to attach this with the wings going up, I'll show you what it looks like with it going up, which I think is adorable. And that was my initial, I initially wanted to do this going up. Okay. Just attach that. Okay. I'm not going to tie it on because I haven't decided yet which way we're going to do it. But we could do it this way. Okay. Or let's just spin it around. Or we could do it this way with the wings going down. I'm only thinking of how we would put it on the door. If you were going to put it on a door hanger, and you would attach it right there, like behind the head, then I would probably want the wings going down, because that would be a little bit high up on the door if we attached it right there at the head. Let's spin that back around. Okay. Yeah, think of it that way. It's going to be too high up. I mean, this is probably going to reach almost the top of the door, right? So, one other thing we could do if you wanted to, get some fishing line. Fishing line. And with the fishing line, just tie that kind of to either end here, and you can hang it that way. So that's up to you. So this is our finished bat. I think he is absolutely adorable. This is with the bats, with the wings down. So yeah, this is it with the wings up. I think it's adorable. Now, to hang it, I did add fishing line. So we can definitely use fishing line, and you're really not going to see it, right? And it works. I love it. I think it's adorable. And you could probably do this on a Unique in the Creek board. I'm sure if you did this on a Unique in the Creek board, you would just have to cut one of their ring boards in half and follow the holes. I think it would be just fine. So, but let me know what you think. I love it. My name is Patty Davis. I'm with Crooked Tree Creations, and I'll see you in our next video.